Howdy, y'all, and welcome back to HTF Bets, your live Thursday show here at Hitting the Field Network. I took a quick week off last week, but the Sheriff is back in town here in the main host spot. We have a great show for you here today. We, of course, have our Game of the Weeks. We just finished All-Star break of the NBA season, so we're going to keep you updated on all the award races and our predictions for each conference in the finals. And then, of course, we're going to get the Surefire Pick of the Week rolling. And stick with us because it all starts now. Yeehaw, y'all. I am back. Tyler Caron back in the main host seat. I found a cowboy hat in Utah, and I'm rocking with it. Johan, he's back with us. He's back to my right. He did a good job taking over as the main host, but I am back. The Sheriff is back in town. And Riley, of course, also joining me. Boys, how'd it feel without me last week?
I felt really great.
Really great?
Yeah, being in the center, you know.
Yeah.
Less you, it was definitely amazing. I'm not going to lie.
Hey, and Riley lost his Surefire bet. I might just skip a couple weeks so Riley will lose some bet. But, well, I'm going to get mine going, but that's going to be at the end of the episode. Also joining us is special guest Cameron Forcier. Cameron, welcome back to HTF Bets. And we're going to throw it over to you to start off with your Game of the Week.
So first off, I'd like to thank you guys for having me on again. I was on 2 weeks ago, and I did get everything right. I'm trying to do that again, but I would not be surprised if it's opposite. My Game of the Week is going to be hockey, NHL. We got Calgary Flames hosting the Minnesota Wild this Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern. Calgary's on a tear. They've won 10 straight. It would not surprise me to see them win 11. They play against Vancouver tonight. Tyler Toffoli, they picked him up from Montreal, been great. Johnny Gaudreau, Matthew Tkachuk, been a dynamic duo. But I have to go with the Minnesota Wild. I'd be a fool to not go the Johan route and pick my own team. These are two teams that do have cup aspirations. It is in the West. It's Colorado, and then it's two more teams, and then it goes Calgary at 66 points and Minnesota at 65. These are teams that are ahead of schedule in their competitive window, in my opinion. The Wild have Kirill Kaprizov, who's the reigning Rookie of the Year, and in my opinion, I just got to go with my team here.
No, and Cameron, I'm sorry. You're going to start this week with a loss because Calgary, there is no way they're losing. They've won 10 in a row, probably will make it 11 tonight against Ottawa. And these two teams are arguably the top two in the NHL right now. I'm not disrespecting Minnesota, but Calgary is going to blow them out of the water. Their forward lineup is arguably the best in the NHL right now. Elias Lindholm has been playing some unbelievable hockey, scoring 9 goals in 8 games, 8 consecutive games, reaching the back of the net. And like you said, that acquisition of Tyler Toffoli has been great for their forward lineup, who is already really, really good. These two teams, it's going to be a great game, but Minnesota's just been a little inconsistent. Lost on Tuesday, lost a big game against Florida, which is not a bad loss whatsoever, but that should have been way more competitive than a 6-2 loss. I got to go with Calgary, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was close.
All right. Go ahead, Jordan. Go ahead.
Listen, Cameron. Yeah, you did get everything right 2 weeks ago. What you also got right is a copyright for our episode. I just want to let you know that right now. One thing I do want to bet, though, is that I would bet that there's going to be at least one fight in this game. I don't know why. I'm just going to bet it. I'm going to bet my life savings on it.
There are odds out there. I'm going to go against that. The NHL is cracking down on fights. It's not like it used to be. However, we're going to go now from one Minnesota team to the other. We're going to go over to NBA. We got Riley's Game of the Week. We got the Grizzlies going to Minnesota to take on the Timberwolves. Riley, what you got in this game?
Yeah, this is going to be a very interesting game. The first day back from the All-Star break. And the one bet that I have to take is the over. The over is set at 239. Both of these two teams are top 5 in the NBA right now in scoring, in putting points on the board. They both average around 113. And neither of these teams are great defensively. They're both bottom half of the league. But I just have to talk about the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies have been one of the biggest surprises in the NBA this season. And if they score 120, they're not losing this game. They're 19-0 this season when scoring at least 120 points. Jared Vanderbilt has been playing some unbelievable basketball lately. He's proved himself as the future of the Grizzlies, the future of the Timberwolves. He's going to be their starting power forward for the future. Karl-Anthony Towns, of course, proved why he was the best shooting big man of all time. This is going to be a very entertaining game. Whoa. Whoa.
You're right here, Riley.
Hey,
whoa.
Right.
Shout out to Kat. He came in at plus 1,200 to win the three-point
Meow.
contest, and he did it after he said that he wanted to be, and he wanted to prove he's the best three-point shooting big man of all time. And he did that. I like your over pick. That's not going to be what I'm telling you to go with, though, but I am picking it over. I'm picking Ja Morant to combine for 34.5 points and assists total. That's going to be mine. Ja Morant has been playing out of his mind this season. He is the biggest factor in why the Grizzlies are one of the biggest surprises of the NBA this season. And he's even getting some eyes for MVP. He is top 5 in MVP odds right now.
Well, the way he's able to control the team and able to lead this Grizzlies team to a top 3 seeding in the West has been, phenomenal. His growth over the past 3 seasons is, astronomical. I mean, he arguably right now is the best player to come out that draft.
Yeah.
But like these two teams, they're two of the most surprising teams, but they're also two of the youngest teams in the NBA, and they have really good young core. So I'm pretty excited for this game.
And this is a big game for the Timberwolves. They sit at 7th in the West right now, and they don't want that spot. You don't want to be in the play-in tournament with the teams that could be coming out, that would be playing in that tournament. They're about 2.5 games back from 6th, and I really expect Karl-Anthony Towns to have a big post-All-Star game break. He's increased his points and rebounds every season that he's been in the league so far. So if there's a player prop to put on Karl-Anthony Towns,
his three-pointers made is at 1.5 on most betting books. However, the odds are creeping up to minus 180, 200. So it's a big bet, but it is likely. Cameron, I want to get your input really quick on this as a Minnesota guy.
I think that as much as I said I want to go with my hometown team for the Wilds, I never in my life will ever bet money on the Timberwolves. I can't. My wallet will not let me. So I go Grizzlies on this one. Like Riley said, Jarrett Vanderbilt is a 4 of our future, whether he's a starter, whether he's just a key 6-man off the bench as an incredible rebounder, incredible defender. He's very good, very young. I cannot put money in good faith on the Timberwolves ever.
All right, we're going to get back to some NBA in segment 2. We're going to go now over to UFC for my game of the week. Just kidding. It's not my game of the week. It's Johan. We got Islam Makhachev versus Bobby Green. Johan, take us through the process of how this fight became what it is, and then your prediction on the fight.
Well, originally this was supposed to be Islam Makhachev versus Beneil Dariush. This was supposed to be a fight between 2 of the top 5 contenders in the lightweight division. Fortunately, Beneil Dariush got injured with a foot injury. He had to pull out of the fight. Luckily, King Bobby Green stepped up on 2 weeks notice after taking a fight 12 days ago. So he fought 12 days ago and is about to fight again this Saturday. Now, with this fight, Islam Makhachev does come in as a minus 900 favorite. Obviously, this is a short notice fight against a guy who is unranked. This is obviously how it's going to be. He has the best wrestling in the lightweight division and possibly in the UFC. But one thing that Bobby Green might have an advantage over, which is surprising, is his stand-up. I mean, he has a very slick boxing game, and he's very comfortable. And one thing I love about Bobby Green is that he's fearless. He has a fearless mentality. That's why he took this fight against Islam, because no one else wanted to step up on short notice, but he was able to. So I would commend him for that. But overall, I still think this is Islam's to win.
And I was going to say, Bobby Green's only chance is if he keeps this fight standing.
Right.
And he's not a schmuck by any means. He's a solid boxer. He has solid footwork, solid wrestling. But Makhachev, he's top 3 in the lightweight division, the best fighter right now to not have ever won a title just strictly because of opportunity. Just hasn't been presented with opportunity. Makhachev, of course, there's a chance for an upset, but I'm putting money in Makhachev.
Yeah, I'm not going that upset. In the U.S., Makhachev comes in at a minus 850 favorite with Bobby Green at a plus 470. I don't think it's worth it, the risk versus reward there. Both fighters, I think, are at a little bit of a disadvantage because of the short notice thing. Obviously, Bobby Green just did fight 2 weeks ago, so that's not a long time to train for a fight. Makhachev was training for a completely different fighter, though, so it is a disadvantage for both.
Well, it's a disadvantage for Makhachev, even though he's the one who had the full training camp, because Beneil Dariush's game is kind of more of one that involves grappling. So going from grappling to striking is going to be something that he has to adjust to.
But I think we all go with Makhachev on this one.
Right.
Yes.
All right. So that is your UFC. Finally, we're going to end segment 1 with some college basketball. We have number 5 Kansas going to Waco, Texas to take on number 10 Baylor. This is the second time these two teams have met. And the first time they met, Kansas absolutely worked them. I think I picked Baylor on that one, and Kansas ended up beating them 83-59 at home. I'm going to stick with Baylor on this one. There's no official spread or over-under out yet. There's nothing official out. I'm predicting that Kansas is going to come in at about a 2.5, 3.5 point favorite. If it's anything beyond that, I'm definitely slamming Baylor. But I think Baylor comes out and wins this basketball game.
No.
They did get worked, absolutely worked in Kansas. However, they didn't shoot well from anywhere. James Akinjo was 0 for 11 from the field. He's their second leading scorer. He provides a lot of the offense for Baylor. I think that they use their athleticism, which they didn't utilize well, to beat them offensively. And, of course, they're going to win the defensive matchup.
And that's where I disagree with you, because Kansas is not running their typical Bill Self offense, right? Kansas is one of the most athletic teams in college basketball right now, and they're using that to their advantage. Their transition offense is arguably the best in college basketball right now, and with big thanks to Christian Braun, who's been playing unbelievable. Jalen Wilson has been playing unbelievable, and there's just no chance they go. Well, they are traveling to Baylor, but Kansas,
which is a big key.
Kansas is, there's no way. They're 15th in the NCAA in scoring right now with 80 points per game, and they're just going to blow that out of the water.
No, and I'll tell you why. So, yeah, Baylor, they're playing at home. They're 13-2 at home. Their last loss at home came on January 15th to Oklahoma State. And you mentioned how Kansas is 15th in the country and offensively. Baylor is still a top 12 team defensely,
Right,
even
but
after
the thing
they
is,
allowed
83.
Baylor's four or five losses have been in conference play, and I think that's going to continue against Kansas, because I still think Kansas has the overall most complete team in college basketball right now. And you haven't even
defensively. That's just wrong.
No,
that's incorrect. Their offense, they do have a great offensive
and
set.
they're gonna keep scoring on Baylor, and they're gonna catch a dub against Baylor, and you're gonna be wrong again.
We saw in that first matchup, we saw Kansas's offense beat Baylor's defense. In this matchup, it's going to be the flip side. Baylor is not the best offensive team in the Big 12. That's definitely Kansas. Kansas has that crown. Yeah. Baylor is only a game and a half back. So is Texas Tech on Kansas in the Big 12. These teams are chasing the regular season title as conference champions going into the tournament.
They barely. Here's my final point. Baylor barely escaped a 500 Oklahoma State team because Adam Flagler dropped a career high. If Adam Flagler would not have dropped 29 points, they would have lost to Oklahoma State, who's 14-13 right now.
And they're coming off that bad game. I think they get everything together at home in Scott Giroux. We trust. That's all the time that we have for segment 1. Stick with us. We'll be right back with some NBA.
Why? Because I am a New York Giants fan, and I want my first pick of the week to be my team. I see an upset for the New York Giants this Sunday. Bet your entire savings, and I'm telling you right now, they're gonna win. I don't care what you say. It's gonna happen.
I have to go with the Raiders, I think, for this one. I don't see them losing.
Welcome back. It is now time for our primetime picks of the week, the best segment. I'm currently doing awful, standing at 16-10, Oklahoma State and Texas. I'm going Texas 35-27.
All right, Jeff, don't tell me your winner, but who is going to the Super Bowl?
The New England Patriots.
Oh my God.
And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
God.
The NFL is gonna make it happen.
Welcome back, everyone. We are now officially through the All-Star break here of the NBA season. We saw another competitive All-Star game on Sunday. We saw what might be one of the worst dunk contests in the NBA history on Saturday. They need to figure something out because they need to change the rule of the 3 attempts and what it classifies an attempt, but that's not what we're here to talk about, but I just had to get that in because whether it was Aaron Gordon, Zach LaVine, and Derek White spoiling us the last couple of years, it was terrible. The NBA needs to do something different. Shout out to Obi Toppin. But anyway, so there's your Nick plug. Anyway, so we're going to go now into our award races and predictions. Cameron, I want to start with you. We're gonna start with who we have coming out of the Eastern Conference this season going into the NBA Finals.
Coming out of the East, I do have to go with the Sixers. I think that adding James Harden and keeping Matisse Thybulle and Tyrese Maxey, pairing him with Joel Embiid, I think that is just such a good starting 5. Tobias Harris, if he picks it up, which I imagine he will, I think they are true contenders in the East.
Yeah. And I why do you not have the Bucks? I'm just curious.
I just think the Sixers. Obviously, all respect to Giannis, all respect to the Bucks. They did win the championship last year. I just think the Sixers are gonna go a little better.
Fair enough.
I think this is the best Sixer squad with James Harden that we've seen since Philly made it. So I believe it was the Eastern Conference Finals against Kawhi when Kawhi hit the shot in the Game 7,
right, yeah.
or whether it was semifinal. I think that's the best Sixers team that we've seen since that team. So
Yeah.
I do think that Philly has a fair shot.
They do.
And my Eastern Conference Finals gonna be a little weird. I'm gonna say the Bulls and the Bucks. The Bulls, DeMar DeRozan is the best isolation scorer in the NBA, and he has been for a few years now. People just really haven't given him his credit. DeMar DeRozan won't win MVP, but I could see them in the Eastern Conference Finals. Ayo Dosunmu has been kind of a dark horse for Rookie of the Year. I think some guys are just a little bit better. They're on worse teams, so Dosunmu just hasn't had the opportunity. But I'm going to say the Bucks are going to come out of the East. The defending champs are, I don't know if they're going to win it all, but they're going to come out of the East.
Yeah, so coming out of the Eastern Conference, so I have in the Eastern Conference Finals, I have the defending champion Bucks. I think that they're going to pick it up towards this last half of the season and bring that momentum going into the playoffs. I still think they have the best player in the league in Giannis. And not only that, I feel like they have a lot of good depth, even though they lost some key pieces last season that helped them win a championship. They're still a very strong team overall, and I think that they'll win. But overall, I want to say I have the Heat coming out of the East. I do. I think they have one of the most grittiest teams. I think they have the best defensive team with Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler, Kyle Lowry.
Sixth man of the year, Tyler Hero.
Sixth man of the year, Tyler Hero. That team is exciting. They're as exciting as they were when Jimmy Butler first came onto the team, and I genuinely see there's a chance that the Heat might actually come out of the Eastern Conference as the Eastern Conference champions.
Are we just going to ignore the favorite out of the East right now and the team with 3 undisputed All-Stars when they're healthy and playing in the Brooklyn Nets who come in at plus 245?
Yes.
We're all ruling out.
You were literally the only one that said they were the favorites.
Well, odds-wise,
yes,
according to DraftKings, the Brooklyn Nets are the favorites.
They are the 8th seed. Why am I going to put an 8th seed in the finals?
Because talent-wise, I think Kyrie, he hasn't been able to play.
Kyrie is made of paper. Kyrie's made of paper.
We'll see if Ben Simmons even plays for them this season.
I think Ben Simmons does. The Nets aren't my pick. I have a crazier pick. I'm guessing you both can figure it out. How about we talk about my Boston Celtics?
Oh my gosh.
They figured, listen, now they have been bad this season. This has been one of the hardest seasons to be a Celtics fan for me. It got to the point where I wasn't enjoying watching games. But then the 2 leaders of the team, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, got the team together along with Marcus Smart, and they just had a true heart-to-heart meeting. After that meeting, they won 9 straight. They lost to Detroit by a bucket right before the All-Star.
And they got Daniel Tice back. I know that's what it is. They got Daniel Tice back.
I will say getting Derek White is going to be a huge piece for this team. He's a great defender, and he's going to pair really well with Jason Tatum.
For sure. That's a huge piece to get eliminated in the second round.
But they're just. Do you see them beating the Heat?
Entirely.
Do you see them beating them 4 times? Do you see them beating the Bulls 4
4 times.
No.
Here's what I will say. Since this is HTF Bets and we are a betting show with Boston coming in at plus 1,100 according to DraftKings, Boston is worth that like Cincinnati bet that I made to throw a little bit, win a lot. Odds-wise with that, I'm very comfortable taking the Celtics because if they get hot like they did, they can beat any team in any series. But we're going to move on to the West now. Cameron, we'll start with you. Who do you have coming out of the West?
I think picking anybody but the Suns is just foolish, and you're fooling yourself. They're not the best team. They are 48-10 right now. They won 40 games before they hit 10 losses. I think Devin Booker, Chris Paul is missing time. I think they might. I don't think the Warriors are going to catch them even without Chris Paul for how long is he out? 5 to 7 weeks now at this point. I just think if you don't pick them, you're trying to be too fancy with it.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be the Suns and the Warriors. Nobody else is even close. Even with missing Chris Paul for, like you said, 5 to 7 weeks, they're going to have the 1 seed going into the playoffs. They're going to get Chris Paul back, and this team is even better than they were last season.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Suns as well. I think it's going to be the Suns and the Grizzlies in the Western Conference Finals, but I think the Suns are still the overall best team in the West. And once Chris Paul gets back healthy, I mean, the way that he's able to control the game, I think it's going to be too much for any team to handle.
I'm going to go, again, with another plus 1,100. I'm going with the Grizzlies. You talk about gritty like with Miami.
Yeah.
I think that the Grizzlies are that team out in the West. And it will be throwing $5 on Lakers plus 1,800 because I'll never count LeBron James out when it comes to the playoffs. But I'm going to go with the Grizzlies. Moving on now to the MVP. We have a lot of different opinions here, I think. A lot of different players are in the mix. Cameron, who do you have as your MVP here after the All-Star break?
I think if the Nuggets can climb higher, I think it goes to Jokic. But as of right now, I have Joel Embiid winning the All-Star or winning the MVP. He's just been too dominant to me.
Jokic, I'm taking Jokic. I think he's second right now, just behind Joel Embiid. The reason being is that Jokic it might not show up on paper, but he is such a better player than he was last season. His defense has been much, much better. That's what a lot of people knocked him for. But he's been a very good defender, even though his block numbers aren't up there. They're not crazy. Jokic, as long as they climb up a little bit higher, as long as they're a 5th seed, 4th seed, Jokic will win the MVP.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the 2-time MVP, Giannis Antetokounmpo, because obviously he's having a very efficient season. Obviously, the Bucks are at the 5th seed, but it's a very close race either way.
The East is, yeah.
But he's
not
only that, but he's been overall the best player in the NBA so far, or the best defensive player as well. And I think that's going to play a key role in him winning the most valuable player.
My MVP, I'm going to go with, again, the DraftKings favorite, Joel Embiid, plus 1,300 with the 30 points per game. He's been able to block out the noise of Ben Simmons and all the drama around that, and he's been able to play his game, play basketball, and put up great numbers. So I think that Joel Embiid does come out, and I do think James Harden coming to the Sixers actually helps Joel Embiid build his case because their record is going to get better and they will finish as the number 1 seed in these heading into the playoffs. That's all the time that we have for segment 2. It's Surefire Pick of the Week coming up, and I got a new trick this week. I got a new thing. So it's obvious it's going to be the hat. I'm not going to lose while I'm wearing the hat, but stick with us, and we'll be right back with our Surefire Picks of the Week.
It keeps coming back. Go away.
Welcome to the HTF Hot Wings Challenge. What do you guys actually do hot sauce like regularly?
No. It's like the least black thing I do.
Oh, wow, okay.
I say Johnny goes first on this one.
I agree.
Now the Buccaneers are going to play the Washington football team.
That can't happen.
It will happen.
I'm terrified.
No, I really hate it.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. No. You're wrong. If it wasn't for Kanye jumping up on stage and doing the I'm gonna let you finish, but no one would know what it was.
Nitros, dump truck. And if you don't know what I'm talking about,
Why is nitro thick?
I don't know how many squats I need to do to get up like something like that, but I will do it.
Oh! Oh my God!
Baseball, obvious reasons. Babe Ruth, if you want to go currently. I feel like that's just like a thing.
he jumped off the wall to catch the home run. We made it through all the way to the end. Thank you for joining us.
I'm never doing this again.
It was rough.
Welcome back, everyone. It is now time for the Surefire Bet of the Week. I guess I'll remind everyone on the standings. Riley, he picked up his first loss last week while I was out of studio. Like I said, I might miss more weeks just so Riley picks up more losses on Surefire Bets of the Week. But he comes in at 5-1. Joan, he still comes in not perfect, but still undefeated.
I'm undefeated,
at
boy.
5-0-1. I'm 1-4, but we don't need to talk about that because I got the cowboy hat on now. If my Surefire bet hits this week, then I will wear this cowboy hat every single show until I am wrong. But let's get started. Cameron, what is your Surefire bet of the week?
So my Surefire is UFC. Same way how Johan highlighted the Makhachev green fight. Makhachev is -900. You don't make money on that. Makhachev within the distance, so if it doesn't go the distance, is -255. Submission is 160. I think the safe bet would be to go the -255. It doesn't go the distance. But if he does get him on the ground, submission is probably how it's going to end. So one of those two.
I like that pick a lot.
Odds are still too high.
I like that
for
pick.
Surefire, it's a safe pick.
That's a very safe
I hate
pick.
it. All right,
I'll go. Because I'm going to go off another fight, and instead I'm talking top-ranked boxing. It is the undisputed junior welterweight title bout between undisputed champion Josh Taylor, making his first defense of all 5 belts versus Jack Catterall. This one's very interesting, a very big one in the UK. I think Josh Taylor is going to defend, and he's going to stake his claim as one of the best pound-for-pound boxers in the world.
I'm going to go with some NBA basketball tonight. The Hawks are going to travel to Chicago. The over-under is set at 236, and that seems a little high considering, both these teams' points per game average. Both times they've matched up this season, Bulls have won both times, and the combined score has been 248. I was torn, but I'm actually going to go with the under for this 236. I just think both teams are going to come off a little rusty following the All-Star break. So 236 is going to be my bet to go under.
I'm going to talk about a team that isn't rusty, and they're going to be my Surefire pick. I'm going with college basketball. Murray State is at home versus Belmont tonight. Murray State is a 3-point favorite. Their last loss came on December 22nd against, it was a top 15 team. I believe it was number 12 Auburn was their last loss. They've won 16 straight since then. They are undefeated at home. These two teams have met where Murray State beat them by 22. It was 82-60. And I see Murray State getting their success at home. Why the spread is so close, I'm not too sure. Belmont did play really bad in that first game, but I'm going with Murray State. And again, mark my words, if I get this pick right, I will wear this cowboy hat every single Surefire bet segment until I am wrong. Now I'm going to be right. I think I can rock the cowboy hat, so I'm rolling with it.
I'll agree with you on this pick. You gotta love some Murray State basketball. So I'll agree, but I don't want to see that.
I don't either. Can we find a different thing that you wear?
No, like you can wear a mustache or something, but not that.
I'm sticking with the cowboy hat, and it all starts with Murray State this week. So we're wrapping up here on the show. We've given you a lot of bets, a lot of lines to take in the last 30 minutes. If you don't want to listen to any of those, I will tell you to listen to this one thing. Here at HTF Bets, we have a dress code. We always have to wear suits, and that's why we always stay classy, HTFN. That's all the time. We'll see you guys next week. Yeehaw.
Yeehaw.
I'm in shorts too.
I don't even think you could wear.
Things gon' change when I really hit the field. Undefeated champs, man, you know what's the deal. Tryna find a kid, I'm in the field doing drills. Boy, you just a sucker, you ain't never keep it real. 3 rings in my hand, I'm a warrior to the max. When I hang it up, they gon' have to give me plaques. Step up in the building and I only bring the facts. When I make a highlight, they gon' replay, run it back. Okay, always locked in, now I don't got time to lax. Saying he the best, he could take a lap.